Hi, I'm Kate with The Productive Teacher. Today we're going to do spelling practice where the long E sound is made by the letters E-A. I'm going to show you a picture and tell you what word it's representing. We're going to count the sounds in the word and then we're going to spell each sound to spell the word. Let's get started. This word is beach. Beach. How many sounds do you hear in the word beach? That's right, 3 sounds. What is the first sound you hear? B, beach, b. We spell the b sound with the letter B. What's the second sound you hear? B, E, E. I already told you we're spelling the long E sound, E-A. What's the last sound you hear in the word beach? Beach, ch. We spell the ch sound with the letters C-H. Awesome job. Here we have beads. Beads. How many sounds do you hear in the word beads? That's right, 4 sounds. Let's spell the sounds. What's the first sound you hear in the word beads? B, b. That's right, it's a B. What's the second sound you hear? B, E. Long E, we said, is spelled E-A in these words. What's the third sound you hear? Bead, bead. We hear the D sound. What letter do we use to spell the D sound? That's right, the letter D. And our last sound, beads, Z. It kind of sounds like a Z making the Z sound, but we know the letter S can also make the Z sound at the end of words. And in this case, it is the letter S making that Z sound. Let's go to our next picture. Here we have beans. Beans. How many sounds do you hear in the word beans? That's right, 4. What's the first sound you hear in the word beans? B. That's right, we spell B with a B. What's the second sound you hear? B-E. Long E is E-A. What's the third sound you hear? Bean. N. We spell the N sound with the letter N. And then we hear the Z sound again at the end of the word, beans. Well, just like beads, we spell the Z sound at the end of the word with the letter S. We use the letter S to show that there is more than one bean. So it's kind of acting like a suffix here. Next picture, this is a beaver. Beaver. How many sounds do you hear in the word beaver? Did you say 4? Nice job. What's the first sound you hear in the word beaver? B. Good. We know that is spelled with the letter B. What's the second sound you hear? B. E. That's right, E-A. What's the third sound you hear? Beav. V. We use the letter V to spell the V sound. And what's the last sound you hear? Beaver. Good. We know we can spell the sound with E-R. Awesome job. Let's go to our next picture. This is clean. Clean. How many sounds do you hear in the word clean? 4 sounds. Good. What's the first sound you hear in the word clean? K. You hear the K sound. Good. The second sound we hear is the ol sound, so we know that's going to be a consonant. When we hear the K sound before a consonant, we know it's probably a C making that sound. The second sound we hear, ol, we spell with the letter L. What's the third sound we hear? Clee. We know we are spelling the long E sound with E-A today. Clean. N. We use the letter N to spell the N sound. Good job. Next word. This is an eagle. How many sounds do you hear in the word eagle? Good. 3 sounds. What's the first sound you hear in the word eagle? E. We're spelling the long E sound, E-A. What's the second sound you hear? Eeg. Eeg. G. That's spelled with the letter G. Nice job. And our last sound, eagle, ol. Good. We know we spell the ol sound with the letter L, but in this case we need an E at the end. This is because this is a two-syllable word, and every syllable needs a vowel. So this E after the L is silent. It's just doing the job of putting a vowel in this syllable. Let's go to our next word, eat. This is a picture of a boy eating, and our word is eat. How many sounds do you hear in the word eat? That's right, 2. What's the first sound you hear? E. We spell that E-A. What's the second sound you hear? Eat. T. We use the letter T to spell the T sound. Next picture. This is a feast. Feast. How many sounds do you hear in the word feast? That's right, there are 4 sounds. What's the first sound you hear? F, f. We use the letter F to spell the F sound. Second sound you hear? Fee. That's our long E. Third sound? Feast. We use the letter S to spell the S sound. And what's the last sound you hear? Feast. T. We use the letter T to spell the T sound. Next picture. Oh, this is a flea. Flea. How many sounds do you hear in the word flee? That's right, there are 3. What's the first sound you hear? F, flee. That's right, we use the letter F to spell the F sound. What's the second sound you hear in flee? Full, ol. Yes, we use the letter L to spell the ol sound. And what's the last sound you hear? Flee, E. That's our long E sound. Awesome job. Here we have jeans. Jeans. How many sounds do you hear in the word jeans? Yes, there are 4. Let's sound it out. What is the first sound you hear in the word jeans? J, j. The J sound could be spelled by a G or a J. Now, I just know it's spelled with a J. This is something you're going to have to remember. What is the second sound we hear? G-E. That's our long E sound. What's our third sound we hear? Jean. N. Yes, we use the letter N to make the N sound. And our last sound, jeans. Oh, we have that Z sound again that could be spelled with a Z, but we know it's an S. Awesome job. Next word, here we have a leaf. How many sounds do you hear in the word leaf? That's right, there are 3 sounds. Let's sound it out. What's the first sound you hear? Leaf. Ol. We use the letter L to make the ol sound. What's the second sound you hear? E. That's right, long E. And what's the last sound you hear? Leaf. Yep, we use an F to make the F sound. Good, next picture. Oh, this doggy wants to go for a walk. He has a leash. Leash. How many sounds do you hear in the word leash? Yes, there are 3 sounds. What's the first sound you hear in leash? Ol. We use the letter L to make the ol sound. What's the second sound you hear? E. Oh, there's our long E. And what's the last sound you hear? Leash. Good. We use the letters SH to make the sh sound. Next picture. Oh, here we have peas. Peas. How many sounds do you hear in the word peas? That's right, there are 3. What's the first sound you hear in peas? That's right, we use the letter P to make the P sound. What's the second sound you hear? P-E. Oh, long E. And what's the last sound you hear? Peas. Oh, we've got that Z sound, still spelled with an S. Next picture. Oh, this little girl wants something. The word is plead. Plead. How many sounds do you hear in the word plead? That's right, there are 4. What's the first sound you hear in the word plead? P-p. That's right, and we use P to spell the P sound. What's the second sound you hear? Pull, ul. Oh, we use the letter L to make the ul sound. What's the third sound you hear? Plee, e. There's our long E sound. And our last sound, plead, plead. Oh, we use the letter D to make the D sound. Next picture. Oh, these kids, they're so smart. They're reading. Our word is read. How many sounds do you hear in the word read? That's right, there are 3. What's the first sound you hear? Yep, we spell the sound with the letter R. What's the second sound you hear? Re. Oh, long E. And what's the last sound you hear? Read. D. That's right, we spell the D sound with the letter D. Next picture. Oh no, this is steal. How many sounds do you hear in the word steal? There are 4. What's the first sound you hear? Steal. We use the letter S to spell the S sound. What's the second sound you hear? St. That's right, we use the letter T to spell the T sound. Third sound, ste, long E. And what's the last sound you hear? Steal, ul. We use the letter L to spell the ul sound. Notice that steal is only 1 syllable, so we don't need that silent E to have a vowel in a second syllable because steal is only 1 syllable. All right, here's our last picture. This is T, T. How many sounds do you hear in the word tea? That's right, there are 2. What's the first sound you hear? T, t. That's right, we use the letter T to spell the T sound. And what's the second sound you hear? T, E, E-A to make the long E sound today. Awesome job spelling. I will see you next time.